Welcome to the Bougie Black Brother Network. Good evening and welcome to Millennial Money Management. I'm Michael, your bougie black brother. We have a special edition of M3, and Chaz, my partner, will introduce the players.
The players. So I've been wanting to do this episode for about a month since we talked about the last episode. We talked about holiday spending and basically how knowing your partner, and sometimes people buy gifts they feel obligated to do, but may not necessarily feel like that they want to actually buy that person a gift. And it made me think about just people being phony in general, and spending money whether they don't have to. For example, another thing I was thinking about was, you know how men and women are, people out in public.
Yeah, those men and women.
Yeah. And the guy sees a woman's ass and is like, and the woman's like, "You looking at a girl's ass?" It's like, "No." Like, he's like, "You looking at that ass?"
You're lying, right?
Yes. Right. Like, why can't you just be honest and be that if you're dating this person? And this made me think about, well, strip clubs. Would a guy lie about, well, where were you? I was at a strip club. Is it financially? Doesn't even make sense to go to the strip club.
So there's two portions that you're saying. There's the trust factor of saying, relationship wise, where do I go from there? And then there's the financial side. And my biggest concern is the cost of this strip club outweighs a lot of things, but the impact of the relationship really is a lot more important. But
financially speaking, yeah.
No, not even financially. It's emotionally.
So that said, when I thought about people who I knew, that brings us to our special guest. So we got Kenneth, strip club extraordinaire.
I've been going to strip clubs since I was about 15.
First of all, yeah.
He's a career strip club.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And who is sitting next to you, Kenneth?
My lovely woman, Sakura.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Sakura.
And so I was thinking about Kenneth because Kenneth, you always like, I'm going to the strip club and it's fun and it's fine, I was just curious from your perspective in terms of, first, there's two aspects of it. From a financial aspect, how do you, when you spend the money there, do you see it as wasted? How do you, I guess for me, it's like going to Six Flags, like an experience. Does that make sense?
The ride?
Yeah.
So I think it's how you justify it.
So yes, I see. How do I justify spending money?
Yeah, because obviously playing devil's advocate, a lot of people would say, you're just wasting money. Why would anyone do that?
So when I gotta see this in two ways. The first one is my age now. I give myself a set amount of money where I'm going to spend it anyway on something that's leisure. And I do that with my budget. Hey, I got this much money. I spend it on going to movies. I spend it on going play pool, going out to drinks with the boys, whatever it is. So whatever that amount is, I was going to spend anyway. I just take it to go to the strip club. So, money for entertainment is money for entertainment.
So what you're saying is you basically have a budget set.
Yes.
For that.
Yeah.
Which is smarter than most.
Yeah.
Because some people don't limit themselves, and some people basically do it spontaneously.
Correct. And I said 2, but I should have said 3. Okay. So my age now, I kind of budget myself. I go there and say, hey, I'm gonna take $100, I'm gonna take $50. Same with gambling. I do the same with gambling. If I'm going somewhere, I take that amount of money and say, hey, when this is gone, I'm gone. Same with the strip club. When it's gone, I'm gone.
Gotcha.
All right. So it's not like I sit there and say, this is my ass shaking funds right here.
Yes, you do.
It's just, hey, this is when I'm having a good time. I'll be like, hey, I got this much money. I can go out and do this or go out and do that. And it's kind of different now being older because now I weigh it with family events and having kids and things like that. So I have to be really out of options before I say, hey, I got some money to spend on myself to do whatever I want.
Right.
So my middle age, I guess I should say, when I first got here, my thing was, hey, as long as I take care of my bills, whatever I have left, I can spend it on whatever I want. So I would throw a lot of money out there because it's just like I tell everybody, as long as you take care of your bills and you put savings away, those two things, whatever you do, your extra time is yours. If you just want to sit around and watch porn, if you want to play video games all the time, it doesn't matter. It's your money as long as you're putting away for savings and as long as all your bills are taken care of. Because when you get older, if you're putting savings away and you take care of your bills, that's what you're really doing. So whatever you got your extra money on, if you want to spend it on whatever, if people saying you're wasting your time, who cares? Because you set for your future, right?
Exactly.
And so my younger days, I spent nothing. Nothing at all. Really. When I was young, my only goal I used to go to the strip club because everybody went to the strip club. My brother and me knew a friend, but my brother was real close to him. And that's how I first started going. His dad was one of the biggest pimps in Florida, was the biggest pimp in Tampa. Ooh. And so we used to move girls into different apartments and stuff. And we used to...
What?
Yeah. So he'd find a girl, like, let's say... He find a girl at a bus stop or whatever, and he say, "Hey, I'm going to use this girl for stripping." We will move her. Most times from the project. He never found a strip club girls from the bus stop. But let's say we'll take her from the project. We'll move her to a nice place where he would just pay the rent and everything in his name, and she would dance and give him all the money. He kick her back a lot, not like regular pimps for the strippers. So. He had
an honorable pimp.
Yeah. No, he was low down when it came for the street girls, for those and those same girls, like we used to get in the clubs for free because if a new club opened up, he'd send a bunch of girls there, so a lot of guys would show up. So they were like, "That's Paco's son," and we got into a place, and we used to go in the strip clubs free, early because of that. Gotcha. So because of that, I started going when I was like 15, 16, and it became a habit of going and not spending money. So when I was young and got in the military and I started going, I was like, I ain't spending money on nobody. And, being that young age, like I'm a pimp myself, not a real pimp, but, pulling girls. We used to try to go there to try to see what stripper we can bring home to cook breakfast. So we never really spent money.
Okay.
And that's just my phases, so.
Wow. So not expected.
Right, I know that story is all stereotype.
Yeah. So because again, when me and Chaz was talking about it, I know too many people who doesn't go in the way you explained it. It's totally different. Totally different.
Yeah.
So I started doing my studying. I started doing some research and all, and part of the stigma is the relationship thing, because it's, well, if you got a woman, why are you going to the club?
Yes.
So, but the problem, what a lot of women don't understand is, if I go play basketball, I go play basketball. If I go to the strip club, I go to the strip. It's in that same realm.
Yes, exactly.
But there's guys that go because they have a lacking in the emotional attachment with their spouse or significant other.
Yes.
That's why they go.
Yeah, and you're right. You see that a lot. But since I've been going when I was young, I've always most of the time I take a girl with me. Whatever girl I was messing with or who I was with would go. And when I asked them why they like to go, some say they go because of me, but a lot of females would say they like to go to see something they can't do so they can learn to do it for me at the house.
Okay.
So when you go with my ex-wife, when we first start trying to go, I was like, nah, I want to go because I just know how she was. And we went, and she just kind of went crazy up in there. She was like, ain't that what you like? Ain't that the bitch you like that? Ain't that what? Tell me which kind you like.
That ass?
Yeah.
You want more ass like that?
You like that? Yeah, I was like, nah, it's time to go. That's what time it is. So we left. But besides her, everybody else has been pretty cool about it. But some guys, and Chaz can back me up on this. Everybody in my family so far young, when they get that certain age, I take them to strip club to give them strip club etiquette.
Yeah.
So you don't, like, I had a friend of mine ain't going years, and when I went to the bathroom, I came back, he was about to get thrown out because he was like, she asked me she said, do I want to dance? I said, yeah. I ain't know. She just kept dancing. I had to tell her to stop. So he owed a bunch of money. I had to go and give him money. Because I just took my dad recently. He's 60-something years old. And I had to tell him how to finagle and work things out. Right. Yeah, he had a good time, though.
So you're a strip club salesman.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I want to talk about that real quick because we went, I forget, that was a while ago, but, it was like an experience. It was like, it was it was to me a thing. Like it was almost expected. I don't know, the weird way, but it was. No, why you look, Mike? You making that face?
I'm waiting for you to give the answer. So you didn't give me the answer.
No, there is no answer.
Okay.
I think part of it, the Atlanta game is just you go to the strip club.
Yeah, you go to the strip club.
It's a Waffle House and strip clubs. Pick one.
Yeah, true.
But
I want to kind of press on the relationship part of a man going to a strip club. In my younger days, a man going to a strip club was not a good thing.
Right.
Because I would think the man going to the strip club, he's looking for sex.
Really?
That's what I would think. Because guess what? A woman walking by naked, you guys are visuals. You guys look, you go for eyes only. The first thing you see is eye. You see a naked woman, you want to have sex with her. I didn't know what you would actually do at the strip club, what a man would do, because I never went. I just knew what was on TV.
Right.
You know, the girl put the man in there and then they bring him to the back and then they do whatever. That's what I thought at first.
Room.
Yes, exactly, because that's what you was going for. And then I thought of it as another thing is that you must be, again, lacking something at home. Why are you going to this strip club if I'm here now? And then a lot of men would say, oh, I want my girl to be naked on a strip club or whatever. But then when you get the woman naked on a strip club, oh, no, you going to be my wife, so you can't do that. I'm going to go get this girl and have her do that. And then we're like, well, why can't I be both? Mm-hmm. That was how I used to think. When I started going to the strip club, I used to take a class. I used to take this pole dancing fitness class. That's what I took first. Right. And there we learned how to get on the pole, be sensual, all of that. And it got me to thinking, it's more, if a girl get on a pole, she's strong. Because what I went through, that's that core, baby. You working it.
You got strength.
You got strength. So when we would go to the strip club, he would be like, what are you looking for? I'm trying to see what she's going to do on this pole so I can take it with me, because I know that works hard or whatever. I didn't see naked. I saw her being athletic on the pole. Now, I have seen some lazy strippers.
Oh, my God.
Yes, I have. Yes. And I would tell him, don't you give a dollar, dime, nickel, or a quarter, because she ain't work for whatever she's supposed to, because this is her job. And then I separated it I took sex out of it. And just like the young lady, I remember one time we went to the strip club, and the lady, when I had strippers for his birthday, for his 40th, we had like 3 strippers. And one of the strippers, she was like, you guys are the best people ever. And like, she ended up staying the whole night. For free. Because she was talking. We fed her. She was like, this is the best. I'm talking about. She was like, this is the best time. You guys are awesome. I love you guys as a couple.
To the house, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I knew that's what he wanted for his birthday. In that sense, I kind of saw strippers as women. I didn't see them as people just give out sex. Right. So as women, in relationship wise, I think that the man need to number one, make sure his woman feels comfortable in him going by appreciating her, by showing her affection, by letting her know you number one in how you look. I don't care if it's a stretch mark here. I don't care if you have, a little bump there because a little fat on this side, or the love handles. Because if I feel comfortable in who I am as a woman, I don't care where you go.
There's no insecurity.
There's no insecurity from him. Like, I know I probably have my own, but from him, I have to feel like even if he saw this bad woman walking down the street, I'm going to probably be like, she a bad woman walking down the street. And he need to second that. Right.
Because he's hiding.
Yes, he's hiding.
That's my original point.
I think young girls it's all about with men on how they treat that woman or that young lady. Because if you looking at this girl butt and then you telling me you not, then you lying. So why you gotta lie? So something else you hiding. Right. 2, if you looking at this girl butt and you like, baby, you know what? She got a big butt, but your butt and slap me. I don't care what butt you look at, because you made me first. But if you make me last, then I have all these insecurities and you not uplifting me and what I look like, then what's the point of you going to the strip club? Now it's negativity.
So I gotta ask this question, because I love the way you expressed it, but there's not a lot of women like that.
No, it's not.
So many women who have that insecurities even when a man is trying to be honest, it doesn't matter.
But I want to interject real quick, just because we're talking about strip clubs, but this is like anything. This is really the topic of your partner's finances. Do you feel comfortable in what they're spending in their leisure? For example, hey, we're going on a dude's trip. They're like, oh, to fuck some other bitches. You know what I'm saying? You know how this shit can go.
Yeah.
you about to do this. So like, how comfortable do you feel in what your partner's spending money on? Like, you know, that's like my
big thing.
But I think Kenneth related it perfectly, because if you go to a day spa, you spend $300 at the day spa. Oh, I felt so good. It gave me, it's relaxing. It's done. But that's $300. You go to the strip club, $300. Oh, you spending $300 on same thing.
We just had a
That's
discussion.
why I love how you articulated it. It's an entertainment cost.
right.
I think in certain states, because you go to Virginia, that's different. I think the culture down in Atlanta and the Georgia area, I think it's part of the culture. You know,
For better or for worse.
for better or for worse. Big economy down here too. But I'm still leaning on how you just got me fascinated, because when we talking about financial and young guys spending money, if they looked at it as it's just like me spending money on this, I'm gonna buy 2 games over the weekend so I can play video games. But yet I can spend that same $100 to go to the strip club and go like, man,
it.
I had a good time.
Financially wise, and I think that as a couple, he said something relevant, is saving for it. But a lot of times men and women look at it very differently. So like you said, let's say a woman say, I'm buying shoes,
Right.
$100 pairs of shoes. What's wrong with that? Right. So if he comes to me and say, I want to spend $100 at the strip club, regardless that I spent this $100 on them shoes, I don't see value in that. But however, I cannot get upset about it because I just spent $100 on my shoes. Because my leisure is $100. That's cheap in some aspect. Not me, because I'm cheaper than that. I'll keep going. I got about 5 pairs of shoes for $100. But that's just me.
Though.
But that's tangible because I am that person. I don't spend a lot of money on a lot of things. He does.
Okay.
Now, I wanted to ask, in terms of like millennials and whatnot, from what you guys see, how do you view how millennials spend money and budget? First, in general, like in
general, I don't
Yeah.
see, and I'm not saying all. I'll never try. When I talk this way, I'm always talking in general. You never,
Yeah.
no one's
Generalizing,
ever and
yeah.
everything. So when I say they, this,
Right,
it's always
right.
generalized. So, budget, and I think they don't budget because of, and I could be my own, trying to think things through and be a psychiatrist or whatever, but they don't budget for the future because everything's now.
instant gratification.
Instant gratification. So they think now, they think they don't even think a day ahead. News come fast, Facebook, everything's blah, 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 it's going to happen. Even when they talk about they're going to do something, it's now. It's never just in 2 years. It's never planned. So why budget? That's part of the same thing. It's budgeting, making goals. That's all the same thing. To make a goal is the same as making a budget. I'm going to save this much money. So it's hard to find them do that. It's some that do it, like my daughter does, but there's a lot that don't.
Right.
And they mindset is just for the now. I was telling somebody this, and it's kind of off subject, but it is subject. When I was young, and I watch a lot of news now because of my grandma. When I was young, they used to have news. She used to watch one person talk to the news person for about 20 minutes. Whole conversation, understand everything. You can't get 3 minutes. If you ever look at them CNN clips or Fox News, 3 minutes straight, and they have about
Full
4 or 5
split
people on there.
screens.
Yeah. So how do you get your attention to stay longer? If your attention can't stay longer there, how do your attention stay longer for other things? And how do you save? It all falls. It all falls together. So my thing is, no, they don't budget well at all. So that is a big problem. So when they go out there. Another thing, besides budgeting, let's say strip club. Besides budgeting, though, when it comes to the strip club,
Yeah.
they like to show out. And when it's a different time then. You know, I came when the real gangsters was there. You don't show, you don't tell, you don't flash. You don't do none of that. You know, you move in silent, you move quiet. That's just how it was. You go to a strip club, you might get one girl, she know you got a lot of money. I mean, other girls might know, but you ain't throwing it all over the place. There's one girl know, oh, I got you for the night, maybe two, and I'm not throwing it all over the place. I'm giving you 100 here, I'm giving you 100 there. You dance with me all night. But now it's what you got. They showing, fly, raining everywhere and throwing stacks of money and just, you know, always trying to shine with fake jewelry and everything. Might be real jewelry, most time fake jewelry. Just trying to shine. And if you're trying to shine, you're not gonna save no money. Even if you're a gangster, you ain't gonna save no money. You're spending money where you can flip and put in something legal, like a lot of good gangsters do. So if you out there just throwing most of your money away, you just, regardless if you're doing a legit or you're doing an illegal, you are wasting money.
But it's about popularity.
Yeah.
So the popularity says if I can't be popular if I'm not throwing that money out.
Yeah, and that comes from that
that instant gratification.
Instant gratification.
Absolutely.
Secure.
But when you were saying it, Chaz, you know, because we've been talking about budgeting throughout our, you know, podcast.
Right.
And it's still difficult because that instant gratification.
Well, that and just we were talking about this on the drive up. People who need to listen or take heed, how do you get their attention? I mean, as a subject, how sexy is it to talk about? Hey, you know, you want to save some money, you want to budget, and some people.
And I brought this up with my daughter because she's talking about politics, and I was telling her a lot about it. She said, "Why don't people listen?" I said, "It's hard to make things that's good for you sound sexy, like you just said." I said, "It's hard to be sexy. You don't get into stuff like that till you're in your 30s and 40s, because then it's sexy because it's hitting you.
Yeah, like,
you know, then it's gorgeous as hell. You're like, let me
that property tax increase. Huh? What?
Yeah,
I need to get that.
yeah.
Right.
But when you're young and you don't see the impact, it's hard for someone to listen. Now, some people do, you know, just like when I, you know, but mainly they don't, especially this generation.
So going back with when we were talking relationship, even when the even when the finances is in order, the relationship is still out of whack because I think society and certain portions of society still says that's where those hoes are. They trying to take my man.
Yes.
Or I'm not good enough for my man. I don't care what he says. He wants ass like that, and I don't have an ass like that.
Exactly.
No, I like
It's still
ass
there.
like that. But guess what? I also like the Golden State Warriors. I'm looking
That's
at
such
it
a
in
fair
way,
point, yeah.
So you have to say, why are you looking at, because your insecurities about sex is driving your emotions in regards to that. If I'm, get upset it, I'm paying my bills. So when you look and say, hey, the light go off? Nope. Guess what? I'm ahead of these lights because I'm always paying and budgeting what I need to. But now I got an extra $200. I'm going to stay an extra hour. But my budget and my bills are intact. I think what causes problems with relationship financially is one of the parties decides to say, oh, so if you're going to spend money like that, oh, I'm going to take my money. And it's like, yo, what are you doing? I already budget mine. Nah, you doing some other stuff. And then you ruin that, and then you ruin in your financial stability as well. So it's kind of odd. I can't disagree with you.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Yeah.
I've known so many people that psychologically they need someone to talk to. I got guys who turn around and say, you know what, I'll never be able to talk to a woman like this out on the street. So I'm going to go to the strip club and they got to talk to me because I got this cheese right here.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but you know how much money
You have to
paying
spend?
her to
Right.
talk to you?
Yeah.
But you got to do something a little stronger with yourself to say, the one you with, you need to be doing something a little better. Or what are you attracting as well?
Yes.
What are you doing with yourself to not attract something better? You know what I mean?
I think a lot of times, like you said, with society, I think a society is coming up a little bit more with a lot more couples going to strip clubs now because, again, we see that more on TV.
Right.
It's okay now because now you see people, women going to bachelorette parties, and they're all going to the strip club with strippers and women at a female strip club.
Right.
You know, they're not going to the male review. They might even do both and don't have a stigma on that. So I do think that the society is telling them that. And also, I don't know if that's the old generation, the now generation. I still think financially, even though, and I'm gonna be honest, even though he says I budget for this, I still see it as waste of money. I still see it as waste of money.
Right.
You know, I'm just going to be honest, but I can't argue with him about it. Like you said, I'm not going to get on you, but I will probably look like, okay, $200 for just throwing money at you know what? Let's buy a pole and I'll strip on this pole in the house, in the bedroom. You give me that $200 so I can get my hair done, my feet done, my nails done, and we good. But I think, again, it goes to how perspective between the man and the woman and how money is spent.
Right.
And it goes, and even in that sense of who is the practical person, who is the expensive person, who's the one that don't want, to spend the money.
Right.
I don't like spending a lot of money. He does. So that's the opposite of, usually women are the one who likes to spend money and the men don't. They got to keep doing this, that, or other. But also, I think women need to understand to have and keep this man happy. He needs his outlet just as much as you need to go shopping.
Right.
Even if that outlet is the strip club, is still his outlet. Yeah. You respect that.
Yeah. Respect his
outlet. You respect that outlet and then communication.
Now, I wouldn't say this when you with somebody. If you by yourself, like I said, if you taking care of everything, you go as much as you want. But if you have someone, you shouldn't be going all the time. I've cut back my strip club going. Now,
oh, really?
He has cut back, y'all. So you tell them what your cutback is. What's your cutback? Like y'all need to hear the cutback.
I haven't been for a while, but my strip club thing was I would get off work and go to the strip club. Not off work. I would have my days off and go to the strip club, and then this is back in the day. Let's just say the job I worked at night, and I had freedom. So I'd be at work at the strip club a lot of times. Wow. I would, and then remember, what was that thing? On BET, they show those raunchy videos.
Oh, Uncut.
Uncut.
Yeah.
I used to watch my Uncut at the strip club because they used to put it on there. So I say I used to go every night, but it was like once a week, twice a week. It's just about relaxation. But it's different for me than most people. But if you go on that much, and you have someone, yes, they're going to feel it somewhere. You shouldn't have to go that much, especially by yourself if you have someone, right? If you have someone, it should be something y'all go together and not all the time. Because that, no matter how much you say, it's going to make them feel a certain way.
So, you said something that jarred a question. You said, I go there to relax.
I do, yes.
So, no, I got that. Yeah. So, what does relaxing mean for you?
Yes, so if you ever... You can ask Sakura or anybody else. When I go, I rarely look at women. I look at the atmosphere. Now, that goes back to where I was. I grew up in a tough neighborhood, so my mindset of relax is to be around. I don't go to nice strip clubs. I'm going to tell you right now. Unless someone wants to go to a nice strip club.
That's a separate conversation.
I go to
and the money that's spent in
the walls. I go in the hole in the wall. So I feel relaxed. And it don't have to be the strip club. It could be a club that's a hole in the wall. But it's really strip clubs. I feel more because when I was growing up, I sat in strip clubs, I talked, I relaxed, and so I still feel the same way. That
so you go
atmosphere.
Back to that. You bring that feeling of what it used to be.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I go there and sit down, I'll drink a little. Most of the time I don't even look because you be like, you ain't gonna look at her dance. I'll be like, all right, I'll take a little here. But most time, even if I get a girl dance in front of me, most of the time I'm looking somewhere else. It's just the whole atmosphere of being in a strip club.
So that's back to your point, Sakura. That's a waste of money then, because you can go somewhere else and not necessarily pay someone to be in front of you to get that environment.
Well, you don't, because it's this. All strip clubs have a certain smell. Because most of the strippers got a smell. Right? The music is in there a certain way. The music's in there a certain way. The walking around of just ass, because I took a lot of people.
Let's just go back to the smell. I'm good with everything.
Yeah, okay. Because if look, it's only like 5 perfumes, I think, the body rubs they wear.
Right. Okay.
I mean, honestly, they do it. So mostly, I'll tell you this. If you come home and smell like a stripper, your woman know you smell like a stripper. That means they got a certain smell, and that's the smell of a strip club.
Or you smell like ass.
Nah, don't really be ass, because ass is funky. They might think you was with somebody.
Bath and Body Works.
That's my point.
It's that bath and, it's that Bath and Body Work, whatever they wear that they smell. And so it's all that when it comes to me. So I relax that way, and I'm not gonna get that at like a regular sports bar. And just like when I took my sister to the club, I'm telling you, I took everybody. So I took my older sister to the strip club.
He is an ambassador. You know what? Can I pause? The city of Atlanta owes Kenneth some sort of key.
Yes. Stripper key.
Medallion.
It's like way around.
It's probably gonna be a bust of a marble ass.
So I took my sister to the strip club, and she was like, "Oh, hi." I said, "It's not that bad," but she was like, "I thought it was gonna be like a mirror or something. I thought it was gonna be like TV when you come in and girls have to take." She said, "Well, as soon as you walk in, they butt ass naked and they walking around." I said, "Yeah, that's just how it is, you know."
What it is.
Yeah, you just sit around and then she said, "All they do is just dance in front of you. Why are they walking around?" I said, "They do that just to get on stage so they can take stuff off. But if they ain't on stage, as soon as you pay them money, they butt ass naked."
Yep.
And so that atmosphere, just sitting around, when I look around, I'm not looking at the people who dance. Most of the time I'm looking at the women walking around, and the atmosphere is walking around. So it's not, I can't get that at McDonald's or something.
No, you can't.
Or a sports bar.
Yo, sports bar.
you really-
I do get outfits though from strip clubs.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Ideas. Yeah. He'll see a woman in an outfit.
About the boots.
Yeah, the boots. I don't know. He like fishnet something.
I like
don't
the
know.
fishnets.
He like fishnets.
Stockings.
Yeah,
I think I was molested by an old woman or something.
yeah, black pantyhose. Big
Legs.
So
Sorry.
the main thing I'm hearing is just about if you communicate and just be honest.
That's the big thing.
You should be good. You should.
You should. Like,
should.
My dad, he loved my mom, who passed away about 2 years ago. Loved her to death. He went to a strip club one time prior to her death, and I remember her dropping him off at the strip club. Was way down. First, he didn't tell me where he was going till the last minute. He's going with some friends. I dropped him off in a neighborhood. He had to walk like 3 blocks behind people's backyards to get to a strip club. And he was just
the best ones though.
It was a good strip club in Tampa too, but it wasn't in the hood. It was a nice strip club.
Oh, okay.
It was right on Del Mabry, and he snuck all the way through because he just could not tell my mom, which I to this day said, why couldn't you just? I'm big about honesty. Tell the person you with, I'm going to the strip club. She should tell you she going to the male review, and that's okay. What the same way of a woman think of a strip club is the same way I think of a male review in the sense of she can go out there. It doesn't bother me. She might be looking at a guy dancing and, she's spending a little money. He might have a bigger dick than me. I don't got the biggest dick. That's just life. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. It doesn't bother me because I'm secure as hell. But all you got to do is be secure with it. So if a woman is just as secure, she wouldn't have that problem either. Because if you ever look at a strip club, they say all that crap, but if you go in there, you have to pay about an ass load of money to get some girl to sleep with you, and it ain't gonna be in no room unless it's barely. It's gonna be outside later. And most of the girls, if you know a strip club, is just talking to you to get your money. They sit there and talk. When I was young, that's how I used to get women. Is because I said, look, go get your money. I know you get your money. You don't need to sit here and waste it with me. But when you bored, come back and talk to me. And we'll come back and talk about other people. I'll be like, oh, this guy look like he needed to dance. Go get your money from him. So she know I ain't spending no money for that. I'm here to just have regular conversations, and then we go from there. But a lot of guys think that conversation is I'm the man,
No. So generational, I think that's an issue too. I think you alluded to it a little bit, that certain women are brought up generational to be like, no.
Yeah.
No matter what,
No matter
that's your
what.
man. No woman should be touching him or being around him. He should never see a woman naked or whatever like that. That's a generational thing. But relationship-wise is, guess what? Generation, I know what they told you, but you're my number one. So don't worry. Oh, if you that worried, come along with me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't come with me, then you need to work out yours. Because I'm fine with mine, and I was honest enough to tell you that I'm going to hang out. To your point, I'm going to hang out because, if my childhood, the times that I relax, it brings me back. There's people who say, hey, look, it's entertaining to me.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, where else could you go to just see naked women dance? I love that. I can go to the club, but they're not naked. But
Right.
here,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
They
getting
naked.
that.
I think
So-
you're
So
right.
I think that generational thing that a lot of women holds on to insecurities because that's the generation from the next generation.
That's what they were taught.
But
Exactly.
and that kind of thing to me can breed, you making me resent you because you know what, I really want to have this experience, but I can't have it. So it's kind of like on one hand, should one person be mad at the other because why are you with someone you can't even have these experiences with? But on the other hand, I know there are people who they don't start really living life until they get out of a bad relationship. Mm-hmm. They really don't start experiencing things until they say, oh, you know what? They start traveling, they start doing this and that. So, I'm kind of tapping into that idea of people just not really being locked into a certain mindset, and being willing and able to explore different things. Right. Because of
the experience. I think I understand what you're saying with the experience of one.
And it's not just strip clubs, but obviously
right. It just more things.
Travel, whatever.
With the strip club, when we first went, and I could say I didn't know how he behaves in a strip club until we actually went together.
So let's talk. From a woman's perspective. So a man behaves in a strip club how?
I thought a man behaves in a strip club like they did on TV. They up there throwing, money and it's it's a woman that they can never have, and then give her all the money and you get to have her now. I thought all of that. I had no idea.
First of all, I want to know these dudes that got some money.
It seemed like everybody around me had some money. I didn't know that it was a $5 lap dance.
There's some guys that do that. So you are right.
Yeah, it's just that I know.
Different.
I did experience something different, and then also I did have an insecurity because with black women, black women supposed to have the big butts, hips and all that. I do not have that. Now in my head, in my mind, I got it all. That's in my head. I know it's in my head, but I'm gonna hold it in my head, and he make me feel like whatever in your head, baby, you right. So. But that's what I thought he was wanting, someone to look like that, because I'm not. Mm-hmm. But that was my insecurity. So when we went to the strip club, it was women with butts. And to be honest with you, I was like, dang, she got a nice butt. See, if I had a good butt, that's what my butt would look like. He was like, okay. You want something to drink, babe?
Segway.
Yeah, he was just like, it wasn't what I expected. And even when I was there, he was looking at me, or he would say, hey, the young lady on the pole. I'm like, oh, the girl on the pole, she done flipped it. Give me $5. I'm going to go, tip her $5. Yes, I was like more entertained than he was. But it was, first of all, him making me feel comfortable to experience the situation. Mm-hmm. We had conversations about the situation. And when we were there, he still made me feel like I was in his apple of his eye, basically. Mm-hmm. Like, even when I was there, he was like, you want to dance? I'm like, I could do what she do. And then it was a girl who did something. I can't do that. I even went to the lady. I said, how you do that? I was like, what you do again? Wait a minute. I went home and I practiced hard because I couldn't do it. But I got it after a while. It was about some years, but I got it. But it was the experience. It was years.
But you got there.
But I got there. And I think that a lot of women need to understand, if you have that insecurity, one, you need to recognize it.
Right.
Two, you need to go ahead and have the experience with him. So when he's by himself, he said, I'm going to a strip club. You like, in my head, I know what he's doing. Mm-hmm. I know how he's behaving. I know how he's acting. Then he's honest.
Right.
He's honest. While we were there, he was honest. He was like, oh, yeah, she got nice. But, you see that outfit? You look good in that outfit. Oh, she got that walk. You look good. You got that walk. Your walk better than hers. Right. So it was all of that with him. So now when he say I'm going to the strip club, I'll be like, oh, okay. Like, it's nothing now.
Right.
It's nothing, because I had the experience with him, and I think some people, we went out when we went to the strip club. I was the one coming in. I was the girlfriend. No one else brought their girlfriends, but it was just me, and they was like, what are you doing here? I was like, are we here too? Because we celebrating him, because that's what he wanted to do. And I think somebody talked to me about, you had strippers at his birthday party? And I was like, yes, that's what he likes. Yeah. And it was one of the best things ever
Yeah.
doing that.
So this actually makes me think of a story for me and my girlfriend. And it's not about strip clubs. It's about my barber. So my barber is he's a wild dude. He's a cool dude. He cuts out his house, and I was like, you got to meet my barber. And I was like, the main reason I did it is because you gotta meet my barber. Otherwise, if I describe him, you're gonna think I'm lying. Motherfucker be cutting the hair. Stop cutting the hair. Go marinate some salmon for a barbecue. Throw it on the barbecue. Come back. Yell at the kids. Hey, y'all do what you're supposed to do. Do your homework. Go out and cutting hair. Do some other shit. And it's like,
So it's an experience.
how about on the mic real quick?
Yes, it's beyond an experience.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So when I text her and I call her and be like, hey, I got to get my hair cut. If it's like a 3-hour situation,
She knows why.
yes.
You ain't getting no haircut for no 3 hours.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, it's a drive and then, just hanging out, talking shit, whatever, depending how many heads in front of me, how many other people have to cut. But I brought her there just to be able to say, this is the situation. This is the guy I like to cut my hair. And, basically here's my financial, here's who I'm choosing to spend my money with.
Right.
And
This is who I invest my money into.
and
Because not just the cut is the experience.
well, I got fucked up a lot. Like, I mean, shit.
Damn, dude.
Yeah,
All right,
I gotta go to him. Shit, hey. But it's kind of like, it's so, again, if I'm like, hey, I'm out for this amount of time or doing this and that, she can be like, okay, cool. And in fact, I invited her recently, last like 2 times. You want to swing through? She was like, just hit me up afterwards. So
Right,
I'm just, just to you guys' point, I just think it's so important. Just whatever you're doing, just invite whoever your partner into your life.
What you do.
Yeah, into what you do. Yeah.
So we have a tendency of being critical
Okay.
Yes.
of what each other likes and what each other do. So took me a while. Been married for a while, but it took me a while. But one of the things that I always try to preach is you're sexy in your own way. Just because she has the greatest ass, breasts look like that, bodies like this, there's so many women that are sexier than that woman right there that has stretch marks, little pouch right here, but she exudes sexiness.
Mike, are you really talking about sex appeal right now? You about
Yes.
to break it down like that?
Absolutely, because there's so many women that don't recognize that if you're sexy,
Now hold
it
on.
doesn't matter
hold
who
on,
you
hold
see.
on. Let's bring it back. What's the connection? Let me play devil's advocate. What's the connection between money, your financials, and sex appeal?
So, sex appeal. Do you have to spend a lot of money to be sexy?
Yes. Yeah, that's my point.
You do not.
Exactly.
Because sex appeal is internal. It's not external.
But basically, you're not blowing a lot of money at beauty supply, or as a dude, you're trying to do things to make yourself feel more confident.
Right. Or a woman or a man on that end.
Yeah.
But if you have that confidence, and that's what we're talking, you had confidence to say, I trust my man. He was honest with me, and he says, this is what I like. So I'm going to highlight what I got. I'm not going to change. I'm going to highlight what I got because that's what I like. So why should she change for that? But I want to please my man. So if he likes that, let me see if I'm missing something. Because if I'm missing something, then we can discuss it. You said that too. We can discuss it, or we don't have to discuss it because I'm good. But if you hiding and say, well, this is the little things that I do, this is the little things that you do, you'll never know. Things can go awry. And that's when that financial side is, if I'm hiding stuff, I'm hiding a certain cost.
Right.
I'm hiding something that I'm restricting myself, like priests who restrict sex and then they do crazy
my
shit.
God, yeah.
Sorry, I had to bring that in. But that's the problem
Yeah.
with not having the honesty.
Right. And sometimes women see you spending money on their competition.
Yeah.
You're spending, because
Good observation.
regardless,
Yeah.
women compete with each other. We dress for other women. Because he not going to compliment. He's like, oh, that's the shirt. When other women was like, oh, I like that shirt, baby. That's cute. You know, he not going to compliment me as well as another woman will. Society, TV, make women compete with one another.
Absolutely.
You know, there's not enough men out there. There's no good men out there. You got to be this. You got to level up. You got to do that. You have to do this to get this man, to keep this man. So the other woman is trying to do the right thing to get the man, but the man might be already with somebody. Mm-hmm. Okay. So as women seeing you spend money at a strip club, they might see you spending money to their competition, to something I will never have, I will never do. I cannot live up to that. So why would you spend our hard-earned money? Because I know I go to work too. Why are you spending that money on this particular situation?
Right.
I would say, and this is not my view, but I've been around a lot of guys who went to strip clubs too. All right, so to them, it's like going to a movie and seeing some action film or something that they can't be, you know, same as, you know what I mean? It's taking them out of reality.
Like
you know?
action hero.
Yeah, like an action hero.
Like
It's
a John Wick.
Yeah, like a John Wick. So when they go to the strip club, it takes them into a fantasy world where they think they can get the woman that they can't. Don't mean, just like when they watch porno, don't mean they don't love the woman they with or want to be with the woman they with. What happens that can ruin it is when they take that fantasy and try to make it kind of reality by spending money to try to keep up with it.
Yep.
If you keep your mind right, then it's okay. If you're obsessed over it, just like you could do anything, then it ruins it. So that when you say the competition, you can say, hey, I know I'll never get this stripper. You know, I'm just throwing some money. It's just like I know I'm never going to shoot the guys up and jump out the window and get into the fast car. You know,
and get away with it.
And get away with it. So it's the same. It's the same thing. It's to me is a way to not me, but I'm just saying some guys I've talked to in the past because you know I talk to people in the strip club, guys, the strippers, women.
But there's nothing wrong with fantasy.
No, it's not.
There's nothing wrong with fantasizing.
As long as it doesn't take over your reality.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's where I was real concerned when Chaz kind of brought it out, like, oh boy,
no,
you really gonna bring this conversation?
Yes.
Because there's some guys. Because I know these guys.
I feel, but there's
that's that way.
The main reason I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that point. I felt there's multiple compartments. You got people like Kenneth. You got people like me. Because I'm on the fence. I'm not making enough income to be able to say, damn, I can budget this much every. Like I'm an annual strip club guy.
You got a quarterly?
No, I haven't. My membership is not quarterly yet. Oh, no. I got to go annual, biannual, then quarterly. So I'm kind of like I'm on the middle because I really can't validate or justify spending that kind of money right now.
Right.
And then I think there's other people who are too into it, and you know, there's like all these different buckets, but they all tell different like financial stories or emotional stories, but all tie back to your finances.
Yeah, but but we talk about millennials more so than that, and that's where I've seen too many millennials, and you mentioned it too, Kenneth, that they have to show it, so they're draining their finances to be popular. And then that woman that's in the strip club, all they're doing is keep bringing that money, baby. Oh, no, you're the best. I can't wait. Are you coming tomorrow? Oh, yeah, they want me up in there. No, they don't. They want your money.
Delusional,
But there's so many who think that way.
Yep.
Not just for the popularity or self-esteem.
Self-esteem, I know that for self-esteem. Yeah, I've know guys even in my generation that does it. It's a guy who spends money. He used to be I know he in the strip club more than me, and every girlfriend he had was a stripper. And every girlfriend he had was a stripper, and so he used that. But he worked overtime like hell. He always
damn. So that's his overtime.
Yeah, that was all his
second job.
Second job was supporting the stripper. So yeah, some people lose it with that, but. Going back to millennials, the thing about them also is, you know, they don't, like I said, they don't have no goals. They don't budget. Not all of them, but a lot.
You generalizing.
Generalizing the fuck.
Yeah. So in that sense, though, a lot of them don't have, and I shouldn't say millennials. I'm not for sure, because I think they stop at like 24, right?
No. Millennials stop around the early 30s.
Okay, early 30. Okay, so I'm really thinking prior to that that's got
So
worse.
it's a Generation X, right?
No,
So-
Generation Y, I think
Y,
it is. Yeah.
It's down the line.
Yeah,
It's
so-
almost at Z, right?
They-
Oh, the
they-
people under millennials.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are worse. Now, millennials
They're
are bad,
They're bad.
but the ones underneath are worse.
Because they think in likes and followers and views and
Yep.
such.
And like, okay, and this comes with millennials too. When I was younger,
They'll keep you in there. Sean.
yeah, when I was younger, we had a lot more oomph. I should say we was hustling, really hustling. So even with strippers, when I was in North Carolina for a time, I went and found a bunch of strippers and used to throw strip parties at my house every Friday and charge people.
But yeah, like basically,
So-
in other words, if you like strippers, you're gonna
Yeah.
find a way to hustle your way.
Hustle
to-
your way with something
without
like-
money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
or little money.
they would come in. We had a deal. I knew this dude anyway. So they would come in. I would break them off a little bit, not as much as they regular price.
Right.
They get all the tips that's in there. I had an upstairs where it was the VIP. I charge a certain amount. They get whatever they get up there, but it's just charge to go up there. But they can charge so it's like let's say I say it's $10 to go up there, but whatever they charge you to go up there, that's their
That's on
fee.
you.
Yeah. And so I charge you a door fee, but everything that was thrown out there is yours, right? So we did that a few times. They don't think that way. I don't want to throw all my, I'm thinking. That's why I say it's just a different mindset. When I was young, I wasn't spending no money.
Right.
How do I make money?
Now-
Nowadays, it's just how do I show I have money?
Yep.
It's just too different, Real gangsters. And I'm not saying I was a gangster, but real people back then was like, how do I get this? Not how do I.
Gangster
Yeah. Not how do I give it away? Now it's
Right,
how do I show I have, even if I don't have.
Right.
And so it's just completely different to me. It throws me off as a loop.
So I think you said something, Chaz, during our other podcast, Repo, when we were talking about government officials as well as, movie stars and people who were sexually abusing these women.
Yeah.
And you said, what happened to game? If you ain't got
Oh
no
yeah.
game,
Yeah.
I've been
what the
said
hell
that. Yeah.
is wrong? What?
Yeah.
What's that?
I-
But you're saying that. Look,
Yeah.
I got strippers working for me.
Yeah.
I've done this
Yeah.
with game, and these guys are forcing women because
I
I
can't.
have to.
Yeah. I don't.
I don't want to. I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
lazy.
I'm
Like
just
a lazy
lazy.
stripper. I'm a lazy.
Yeah,
rich
lazy.
guy.
Yeah, lazy rich guy
Yeah.
who just. I had a boss of mine who really pushed me to the edge, but his game was this. In that same sense, and he has a lot of money. He retired from the military, and he's my boss, so he makes more than me. And he has some houses he's renting. So when we first start going out together off work, I used to take him and hook him up with all these girls. But his game in that sense was, and he's an older guy, so he's not the younger dude. Well, is basically throw his wallet on the table and see what sticks.
Damn.
So, but he had the money for it.
Right.
He older guy. He's a sugar daddy basically.
Right.
But you can't
Okay.
be 22 sugar daddy and when you don't even have a real career. You know what I mean?
Because you're a sugar baby.
Yeah, you're a sugar baby with a sugar baby job.
Right.
You can't be, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add. It's like 2 + 2 is 19. It doesn't add up.
Right.
So,
That's fair. I can't argue that.
But I mean, that's why the point I wanted to bring that up, Chaz, because when you said that, I was kind of like, yeah, I've been to the strip club. I only go to the strip clubs when my boys want to go. So whenever they say, hey, look, we going in, I was like, really? Look, man, you off in the middle of the day. Come on. And I was like, yeah, all right, I'll go. I'm okay with it. I don't have a need for it. I'm not that entertained by it. But when I'm with my boys and we just kind of go all at it, I enjoy the environment. Back to that. I enjoy that. And it's fun to see a bunch of fine naked bodies.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. But I don't have a need for it.
yeah.
But I've done it. So it's not like, and then when I used to go, my wife knew I was going, I'm going with my boy, babe. We going to the strip club. Damn, he loves going to that. I said, I know, whatever. So when she went with her girlfriends, I was like, have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, I'm not measuring dicks.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to stay in the gym every day to get a six-pack to say, hey, look, I'm like that guy. You don't need to go
Yeah,
with
exactly.
That's not the point. The relationship ain't about the physical look of the person you with. If you realize your relationship is the partnership and the long-term goals to stay together, then you're fine.
Yeah, because looks goes away.
Yeah,
it does.
fades.
Yes, it
Truly
does.
fades.
And that, yeah, you are correct on that. It fades. And I have some friends who don't go to strip club at all. So the only time they will go is if I go, and they don't even like going in, just because they think it's a waste of money.
Okay, I wanna ask you about those people. So, just based on your opinion of them, what do they spend their money on leisure that you would consider a waste
Well,
of money?
one of them I know. No, yeah, some of them sports, which is to me. But one of them I know is sex. His
Wait, what?
leisure
Whoa.
is sex.
Wait,
He works overtime to go to.
wait, what?
Yeah, he
Oh,
works overtime.
You just said sports.
No. She said sports. I said some of them. But this guy I know is sex, and he works all year to go to hedonism every year.
Wow.
Oh, he flies out the country.
Flies out of the country.
Yeah.
It
He-
skeets for a whole week.
for a whole 2 weeks a week. And he goes to swinger parties and all this stuff, but he will not go to a strip club.
That's so.
Waste
That's
of
interesting.
money to him.
Yeah. So
'Cause
you
he
know,
ain't- he
why
not
look
skiing.
at it
That
when
makes
I can-
sense.
when I can have it.
That makes total sense. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
No, to that guy. No,
To that guy.
Yeah.
To me, it's all in it's all in the same realm. But to him, it's completely different. So and I'm telling you, he does it. He's gone now. He's sending me little things from hedonism now. Yeah. So
Yeah. So I got guys who love golf.
Yeah.
And they'll buy a club
That's
for about
expensive.
$1,000.
And you know
Yeah.
what? For me, that's a total. Like, are
That's
you
a
serious?
freaking
yeah.
waste.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you hit a lot better. Yeah, you're not going on the pro tour though. What
Yeah.
the hell, man?
And even me, for like the people will tell you, golf is great. Business deals are made on golf. But I'm like, man, fuck all that.
But you should go.
But
But that doesn't mean you have to spend
$1,000. I
Yeah.
buy some shit used.
yeah, same with the strip club. Business deals are done in the strip club.
They are.
And you don't have to spend as much either.
No,
you know
honestly,
what I mean?
they are.
They are, and you don't have to spend
They
as much
are.
either. You know what I mean?
That's the image is so funny to me. Like, Johnson, are we gonna do the deal?
No, but you.
Well, they got the Officer Gentleman Club or something like that, where it's made for them to go in during the day to
True.
do the deals.
And that's where
Lunch
there's a
at the
lot
titty
of
bar.
women who show up doing those business deals. So these women is like, look, that's where they're gonna be.
Yep,
The
I'm
hell
going.
if I'm gonna not go to the
Yeah,
strip club
yeah.
and not be involved in that. That's just not gonna happen. And you gotta respect that. That's a smart woman
Yeah.
and a secure woman too.
Yeah.
Because she's secure with herself to say, some women like, I don't know, after they done, they're gonna be looking at me. No, they're not. Calm down, bro.
No, they don't.
They was there for a purpose. If you can get in, get in.
It's
Then
about
you
that
should be good.
again. It's about the experience of it. It's again, when you see things as waste of money, it's the person.
Yes.
However you say, just like you were saying with my money, don't let me do that as often.
Right.
Well, his money, I'm telling him all the time, I don't want him to do it as often, even if he has money. Because I still see it as a waste of time.
Right.
But that's me and how I see it. But I don't see a waste of time when I spend $60 for my nails and my feet to get done. Let's say once a week. I don't spend that, but just once a week. Or I got to get my hair done every 2 weeks, or I need to get, I have this different look I need some weave. That's going to be $200 right there. And I've spent $200 to get some braids. And, every 3 months, I'm thinking, that's nothing. You spend $300 on get your hair braided is nothing to me. But he's looking like, well, why can't I spend that $300 in the strip club? Well, it's perspective.
I was gonna say, I feel like one thing we kind of alluded this at our previous podcast in terms of like as dudes. So remind me what you said. Dudes buy stuff that women want or need. What was it?
So women buy things for men, what they need,
Right.
and men buy things for women what they think they
want.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So hey, I'm gonna buy her chocolate. She's gonna love that. Whereby the woman has said, "This nigga needs some drawers."
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Whoa,
talking about that?
thanks, goddamn."
You just said that.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that in that sense, and that's why we was talking
I need
about the
some
love language.
wool socks. Wink,
Yeah,
wink.
we say that all the time. Love language. I think one time he brought that. It's true because I think one time he brought flowers to me. He brought flowers. He was late coming home from work, and he was excited. He brought these flowers. I cannot stand flowers.
Just like my wife.
I do not
But I
like
need
the
those
smell of them. I just remember them as allergies to me. So it's not the best. It's not the best for me.
So I love flowers.
Yeah. You see? But he was so happy about it. But that's not my love language. That's not what I want you to spend your money on. So now, first of all, now you didn't listen to me because I told you. Second of all, you didn't pay attention to me because when have you ever seen me buy any clothing that has flowers on it? So, yeah, I think that, yeah. I love it. Look, anybody else, but just for me, I don't think I look good with flower print on there. I think it's beautiful, but I don't think I look good on flower print. He was all excited. So I was like, and everybody else in the house was like, oh, he brought you flowers. And I'm looking like, thank you. And then when we went upstairs, I said, I don't like flowers. Oh man, I forgot. What when you said that? What happened?
Why do women always do guys' voices like that?
Oh my God. I learned from that, but now I buy cards for her, which I can't stand.
Yeah.
I think they're a waste. It's a waste. When I look at a card, I'm like, what the hell I do with it next? I feel like throwing it in the trash.
Yeah.
I read it. I'm done with it. Trashing it.
But it's not for you. So what
Right.
I've always
So now I buy her cards, but I tell her don't buy me no cards.
Don't buy me no cards. I don't care about.
I don't care about cards, but I buy her
It'll be
cards.
stacked up or in the trash.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
But I save them. I have a box full of cards. I mean, that's what I love.
So
Those are your words.
People place value on different things.
Yes.
So no matter what, you can say, for example, what's the biggest cost hey, look, beer, the most quality beer, what would you pay for? How much would you pay for that?
nothing. But cognac,
Yeah, okay, cognac.
yeah. So cognac, I like Remy. I get it all the time, VSOP.
Yeah.
But I've paid for the $100 and something XO, and if I ever get a little extra change on me that I can spend up to $1,000, I'll get the cognac that costs $1,000.
Never. I got your point, though. I got your point.
Yeah.
So I'm into wine, and my wife is like, "Why are you buying all that goddamn wine?" I'm kind of like, I love wine, and I can explain it. I can do everything. So I brought $100 bottles of wine, $50, $70, but I got a range that I'm reasonable with. But people are like, "You're not even drinking it. Why the hell are you buying so much wine?" I said, "Because when I want it,
I got it.
I got it, and I know what it's going to be. So when I pull it out, it's going to be exactly what I want. Because if I buy it young and it just gets older, it's going to change taste. So I know I got to drink it at a certain time. All of those aspects, people put value on different things. You have value with the strip clubs. Regardless of what anybody would think, you got a history that people don't realize with the strip club. So it has to be respected. If you didn't have a history, kind of like, well, I'm old enough, I'm going to the strip club. Then I'm like, bye.
Yeah, that's some horse
Check
shit.
yourself.
Yeah.
But there's reasons why people put value on certain things.
Feelings, emotions, regardless.
So
mean, yeah.
I really see the strip club. Like when people used to ask me why I go to strip club when I got a little older and spend money, I'd be like, hey, I do it just like people do gambling. Even I do it the same way I do gambling. When I went to Vegas, I took $500. Say, look, when that $500 gone, and they be like, you ain't gonna see none of it. I ain't gonna see none of that $500. Now it might be a chance I win it, but come on, I'm going to Vegas. I'm probably lose it. So it's the same thing. So the same with me with strip club. I'm gonna take $200 with me. I'm gonna lose it anyway. That's what it is. That's what it's for. You know.
Yeah. So you come in with the idea that I may leave without it.
Yeah.
If I don't, I don't.
Yeah, if I
You
don't-
go
if
to
I
the
don't
strip club
spend-
with
yeah.
$200 and
Yeah.
leave with 30.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I have my budget. That was right there.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I-
That's exactly what I do.
I think the bottom line is it's almost like if you think about going through your credit card or your statements, look at each purchase and think about the emotional decision made. Did you buy the snack cake because you're just feeling a little sad? Did you buy that movie because, you was trying to distract yourself or something?
And you was lonely.
Yeah, you was feeling lonely.
Yeah.
Just
You go to the strip club because no one was talking to you.
Yeah. Like you go to strip club after you went to the regular club.
Yeah.
You struck out.
Yeah, and struck out. Yeah,
I want to see the bitches, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna see some ass.
They're going to talk to me.
Yeah.
So I'll say one thing before we
Yeah.
jump. The one thing you don't want to do is take some money out of the ATM at the strip club because they hit you across the head.
He giving life lessons
yeah.
at the strip
$10
club.
ATM fee.
Yeah. So get it at the gas station right before you go there.
Wow.
That's free tip for all y'all right there.
Pointer.
So if you run out of money, just leave then.
Get up the ambassador.
Yes,
Said just leave. Oh, by the way, I'm not saying leave anymore. I'm saying get your ass up out of here.
Oh, that.
So, no, really appreciate it. Great perspective because, again, I was going down a different route because of the people I know, not opposed to objectively. Because I read and say, oh, no, I get that. Oh, that's fine. But you ran right into that, which is, I got a budget, and that's an entertainment cost. When I put on my taxes, entertainment cost, I can put that down.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And in reality, that's what's occurring in this generation and in the society right now. Because if you get rid of these sexual hang-ups, and it's not all about every time you go there, it's about sex. You know, men are visual and say, yep, I want to see that, but
it's a vibe.
When I get home, baby.
Yeah.
More women that got their ass tore up after a strip club than a regular club.
That one in.
Why you gotta say it like that?
Hey, the truth. You know how it is. You come home sometimes, you be like, oh, you be drunk, falling all over the place. Nigga, and they be like, where'd this come from?
Don't worry, I shut the hell up. Let's go.
Oh, man.
So, let's go to chat.
Millennial money management, baby.
Now, we appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you coming all the way up. Definitely wanted to have it. I was really excited because when you say, is finance sexy? It's a great topic.
This is.
Sexiness in your finances.
Yes.
So we really appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
No problem.
And we'll see you next time on Millennial Money Management. Peace.